in the days, most of the time, you would wait for someone to make the first move. It might be on the first date, it might be the third date, whatever. It could be the man, it could be the woman. But now, all my friends have noticed that the man has stopped making the first move. All my girlfriends are like, they're waiting, it's the third date, fourth date, a week later, he hasn't gone in for the kiss, he doesn't do any touching or anything. And I've asked my dude friends that are single, and they were like, you don't know where a woman's gonna go with that story anymore. I ain't touching nobody. And it sucks because the Me Too movement is so strong and so powerful for the people that need it, but it shouldn't ruin the maturity that we should have within intimacy and relationships.
I have a team of people. Everybody who works for me right now are men. I've noticed if I hire someone and they're female, I have to be careful about how I talk to them, even giving criticism. And maybe it's me, but I feel like I have to be a little bit nicer, a little bit more gentler. Whereas with a dude, I can be like, can you just not do this again? And they're like, yeah, no problem, won't do it again. But if it's female, I'm like, okay, you did like this a little bit wrong. Here's how to do it a little bit better. Overall, you're doing a great job. Everything's fine. Please don't be...
Man, hiring women feels like playing Operation One Wrong Move. And you're in an HR meeting with dudes. It's simple, bro. You messed up. And they fix it. With women, you gotta sugarcoat it just to say, please don't crash this project. It's like parallel parking, guys just do it. But with women, you need compliments and a backup plan. Equal pay, different manual. If you want cold hard facts with some laughs, hit like and subscribe. Let's get to the video.
Could we talk for a moment about Me Too? You've rejected the idea that we should always believe the victim in a rape.
Well, that's
accusation.
obvious. That's
yes.
What happened in the lynch cases in the 1950s in the United States. The victim was always believed.
Yes, and I was going to say that's fair enough. But why not accept the situation as being the victim deserves to be treated as if she's telling the truth in our attempts to get at the truth, and in doing that, we do our best not to re-victimize her.
Because that isn't how the adversarial system works, and I don't think
but
that we
why
have
not advocate for that?
Because the adversarial system is a very effective judicial system, and it's certainly the case that among crimes that are falsely reported, rape crimes are at the top of the list. So there is no believing the victim. There's no reason for people to assume that when they enter the criminal justice system that they're going to be treated with kid gloves or treated easily.
So, let's get real for a second. Always believe the victim. That's like saying, always believe the weatherman. It sounds nice, but it's gonna get you soaked. Just look at the lynch cases from the 1950s, where always believing turned out real bad. The point of the justice system isn't to hand out participation trophies. It's to find the truth. And when false rape accusations rank high, why are we acting like every accusation is a golden ticket to guilt? Imagine treating every Tinder match like a soulmate. Doesn't end well, does it?
If I was a man, and I'm not a man, but if I was a man, I wouldn't hire a woman. I wouldn't do it. And I say it all the time, and I say that, and that is something that women need to consider when they're talking about this stuff. When you are saying that a man complimenting you and saying, I really like your outfit today, is a form of sexism. If you're a man, why hire a woman, right? So you fought all this time to be able to get into the workforce only to say these are going to be the rules. You know, if you say anything, even if you compliment me, if you look at me, anything, I'm going to have a reason to fight you. And by the way, you're going to want to settle and pay me because even just the stain of an accusation is enough to ruin men. So if you're a guy, right, in this society, in this Me Too environment, in this litigation-rich environment of misogyny and sexism and all of these claims, what is the value add? What's the risk? You know, the benefit and the risk. I can't do the analysis.
Oh, so you're telling me hiring women is like playing Russian roulette, but all the chambers are loaded? Yeah, no thanks. Why would a guy risk his whole career just for someone to say, nice shirt today, and suddenly he's on trial for crimes against feminism? You spent decades fighting to get into the workforce, and now you want to set traps for compliments? What's next? A lawsuit for breathing near you? Honestly, the risk versus reward is a joke. You hire a woman, and it's like, congrats. Now you have to survive the Hunger Games of HR. One wrong glance and suddenly you're more screwed than the guy who thought it was a good idea to ask his secretary to grab lunch with him. Not for him. Fellas, why play with fire when you can just hire the dude who shows up, gets the job done, and doesn't threaten your livelihood because you said, hey, you look nice today?
Did you know 60% of male managers say they are uncomfortable working alone with a woman out of fear of complaints of sexual harassment? Women in the workplace. Men, do not avoid working with women because you're afraid of sexual harassment complaints. That is gender discrimination. To avoid sexual harassment complaints, do not sexually harass people.
Period.
So, you fought to get into the workforce just to sue guys for saying, "Nice outfit"? Why would any guy hire a woman today? One compliment, one glance, and you're front row in cancel court. Dudes just do the job, no drama, no lawsuits. Why risk it? Stick to what works, fellas.
Since the Me Too movement, I would never recommend any man to be speaking to any one of his colleagues because it comes at a huge risk. If she likes your advances, it's going to be all fun and games. If she doesn't, she's going to be at Karen and HR in the morning, and you're losing your job. But they're telling you about workplace misconduct and inappropriate behavior and stuff like that because it's been changed so far, and men have to protect themselves. And you know, I think.
But isn't that hypocrisy? Why is it that if a woman fancies you, your advances are okay?
Yeah.
But if she doesn't fancy you, then it's deemed as something that is negative.
It's because
Does that mean that we've forgotten how to have discernment as women?
Yes, because what's happened now is, like what Pearl said, is like someone is going to say to you that was wrong.
In today's workplace, it's like guys are playing don't get fired just for talking to women. Crack a joke at the water cooler, and suddenly you're starring in HR nightmares. If she's into it, cool. If not, you're packing your desk. Let's be real, it's like The Office has turned into a reality show, where one wrong move can tank your career. Everyone deserves respect at work, but let's stop treating every conversation like a potential lawsuit.
How and why will we talk to women at the job when she can launch a false accusation? She can say at any moment that she's uncomfortable. She can file for sexual harassment that may or may not be false. This is the danger of interacting with women in an office closed, because she can walk out of that room and say you did this and this, and now you're fired. Your reputation is gone. Your earning potential has came down, because who wants to hire somebody with an alleged harassment that can or cannot be proved? Most times it can't be proved. And this is the question we have to ask ourselves.
Meeting with a group of guys several years ago about never being alone with another woman. And this one guy said, "Hey bro, in my job," and I know a lot of you guys are thinking the same thing. "Hey bro, in my job, I have to be alone with women." I'm like, "No bro, you don't." This guy 6 months later confessed to having an affair with this woman the entire time he was telling us he had.
Let's get real. Men claiming they have no choice but to interact with women are just making excuses. There's always a choice, whether at work or in social settings. It's not destiny, it's responsibility. In the workplace, play it smart. Avoid unnecessary drama and false accusations that can blow up your career. Sometimes, the best move is to keep your distance and let others create the chaos. Remember, staying out of trouble is often the best way to navigate office politics.
Many people, including myself, only became aware of the Me Too movement in 2017 when Rose McGowan, a white wealthy woman who was a famous actress, brought it up. But it was actually started all the way back in 2006 by Tarana Burke, an African-American social activist. Women of color have been speaking up about sexual abuse in low-income workspaces for ages, but they never garnered the same attention as a rich white actress.
In the Me Too spotlight, some think hiring men is safer to dodge the blame game, like choosing a seatbelt because airbags might be dodgy. Back in 2017, Rose McGowan got all the buzz. But let's not forget Tana Burke, who actually kicked things off in 2006. It's like Tana threw the party, but Rose snagged the Instagram fame. For men in the workplace, it's dodgeball with accusations. One moment you're fine, the next you're ducking for cover. While the Me Too movement is crucial, we need to rethink fairness for everyone. Nobody wants to play a game where the rules change and your career is on the line.
A paper came out recently that looked at the impact of the Me Too movement on academia, and it actually shows that post-Me Too, women's productivity fell largely due to fewer collaborations with male researchers. The paper shows that this drop is most pronounced at universities where the perceived risk of sexual harassment accusations is highest. So the actual findings comparing research before and after the movement are right here, and as you can see, after the Me Too movement, collaborations with male researchers inside the same institution fell to close to zero. The author points out that men feel like if they they accidentally say the wrong thing, they could be canceled or fired. She also notes that institutions that have clear policies on sexual harassment help reduce this perceived risk. And this isn't just in academia. The paper also cites a 2018 study which showed that 60% of male managers are uncomfortable participating in common activities with women due to the same concerns. And a curious finding of the study was that men make up for the loss in this collaboration by just collaborating more with other men, whereas women don't make up for it at all. The author concludes her findings by saying that Me Too was important for raising awareness, but it's also increasingly important for institutions to have really clear sexual harassment guidelines.
To wrap it up, navigating the workplace as a man can feel like walking a tightrope filled with potential pitfalls. From dodging false accusations to avoiding HR drama, the struggle is real. But here's the secret: understanding these dynamics gives you the upper hand. So, guys, take charge of your careers by mastering straightforward communication and keeping your cool. Stay clear of risky situations and always prioritize respect. It's not just about survival, it's about thriving in a balanced work environment. You've got the tools to succeed. Navigate wisely, stay professional, and keep your career on track. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell for more tips on mastering the modern workplace.